All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, Coach. Well, first opened way back in 1972. There's a look at Arrowhead Stadium, part of the Truman Sports Complex here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Hill. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he takes this in the red zone all the way inside Denver's 15. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
You ready?
52. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see it.
Ready?
He gets it to Sims, complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
On third down, it's McSorley. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to. The football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Alert. Tighten up. Shift.
Now Trubisky. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Evans with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. On the ground with Hill to begin the drive. And an alley to run. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Lock in. He's coming. Double up.
On third down, Trubisky. Going deep this time for Miller. That's going to be caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. This guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
Stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. They'll try to run with Lindsey, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Chiefs' 2-yard line.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This is third and goal. This Chiefs defense, they're giving it all they got. Throwing here, Trubisky. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on third down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. And McManus able to put it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Ready?
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, it's Hill. And 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Let's go. 60 or. Here we go.
On third down, here's Hill. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
132 fighter.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Check 13. Check 13.
From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. Looking deep downfield, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. McManus's point after is good, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
65.
On the carry, it's Hill. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's McSorley to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. This is taken at the 18. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 36, Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It was Breeland Speaks getting home to the quarterback that time. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
Check 99. Check 99.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. It's our time. It's our time. Check 9. Check 9. Alert flare. Alert flare. Flare.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Marcus Davenport able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now McSorley. They're going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 35. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 29-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Here's Trubisky to throw. They'll roll him out right. Pass incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, Frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Right there.
Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
No, check that. Go.
They go play action now with McSorley. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter.
Yep.
On third down, it's Hill. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He is going to find Hill here. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
A gain of 26 yards. That's good for Kansas City Chiefs. First down.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
This is Scarborough. Nigel Bradham brings him down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 29, Trubisky. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now Trubisky on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To try again after the sack, Trubisky into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Now Scarborough. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On second down, it's Hill. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Consecutive gains of 1, 2, and now 3 yards brings up fourth down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now it's Trubisky. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Marcus Davenport, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Check, walk 54, walk 54.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Trubisky and the troops staying out there. They will go for it.
Watch the safety creep. Undercrush.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. Now a desperation throw. It's caught inside the 25. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. After the sack on 1st down, Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Trubisky will throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he is all the way up past the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great